Hi, so a bit of a short one for this one. It's just a bit of a midweek update with the news out today about some details of a patch 6.2.3 as a new features coming in. I thought I'd just go through these. It reads very much like stuff they want to experiment with. I think what it looks like is they want to see that all of these features are really ways of incentivise us to carry on doing content. And obviously one of their big challenges for Legion is that they want to keep us doing content for longer than we have been doing in WoD. So it looks like they're trying things out, seeing what works and seeing what doesn't before Legion, because I think they know they have to get it right in Legion. So just having a look through some of these. I mean, new time walking dungeons. Okay, this was likely to come up. Time walking is something I keep expanding on. I do notice it's got some of the more difficult dungeons in there. You know, the one on the Isle of Keldanas, I keep forgetting the name of it now. Magister's Terrace, okay, which was a very challenging one at the time. I strongly suspect it won't be in this iteration, much like, you know, the other time walking dungeons have not. But interesting. The Pit of Sauron, Sauron, and all those, the other three that go with those as well are also being done. So there's a few new time walking dungeons as well as some Cataclysm ones coming in. But I mean, that's not really new as such. That's just expanding the range. Cross Realm Mythic, first new one. Now, this came at a very ironic time. I was just talking about Cross Realm when I was sort of working out what I'm going to say in my video for the weekend. I'm going to tackle a couple of videos about raiding and what are the challenges facing the developers for raiding in Legion based on what's happened in WoD and previous expansions. And then this comes along. Quality of life feature, something that people have asked for. On the face of it, it sounds okay. You know, Mythic is challenging enough. It's not done in pugs. There are a few benefits to this. It allows people to, you know, you could potentially trial for a guild without having to cross realm and it be unsuccessful. Go to all the, because it's expensive to cross realm these days, especially if you need to cross realm as faction. But then obviously this wouldn't help you if you're a different faction to the guild you wanted to go to. But at least saves you the transfer fee. Also, it means you know, if there's anyone really serious and wants to do some mythic stuff with their alts, it allows you to sort of get groups together. Quite how much of a difference this is going to make to a lot of people, I don't know. I know it's something that's been asked for. I'm personally not so sure about that. So we'll see how that goes. It's certainly not a problem, is it? Now, bringing back Valor. This is the big news. Bringing back Valor points. It's not going to come from raiding either, not normal raiding. You can get it from looking for raid. You can get it from dungeons. They say that the most lucrative form of Valor is going to be from mythic dungeons. But you'll want it for raiding because it will allow you to upgrade your gear. They're doing what they did in MOP in terms of nerfing the raid content by allowing you to increase the item level of your gear. They're going to allow us to increase the item level of our gear by 10. Obviously, it's bound to take a lot of time to get enough Valor. There'll be a weekly cap on Valor. For those that weren't around for MOP, we had a weekly cap of about 1,000. Until you know, I get to go on the PTR, I won't know exactly how it's going to work. But the implication seems to be that it might work on gear, other gear than just raid gear. Maybe it will work on Tenan jungle gear and things like that as well. But I'm not sure about that. But in terms of how long it will take us to upgrade all our gear, it's not like this patch is going to come out and we're going to be able to upgrade all our gear 10 item levels. No, of course not. We're going to be able to collect a certain amount of Valor by doing dungeons and LFR, not by doing our normal raid content for us raiders. So we're going to have to do some extra stuff. Again, it's part of that, isn't it? It's incentivizing us to do that. They don't want us just getting this stuff from the activities we would normally do anyway. They want to get us back in dungeons. It might well work out that, you know, let's say it's a weekly cap of 1,000 as it was before, and for 250 points you can upgrade an item by 5 item levels. Then maybe that means you could fully upgrade 2 items a week. In which case, if you're already in your BIS set, it's going to take 8 weeks, isn't it? A couple of months to get you to your overall item level is 10 higher. So it's going to be a long process. And for people who, let's say you upgrade something and then get a better item for that, obviously start off with your usual thing. You start off with your weapons and trinkets first, and your better piece of gear, the gear that you don't think you'll replace, but it'll still take a while, 2 or 3 months. So other things, there's going to be a new quest for a limited time only for defeating Archimond, but only on heroic or better. So they're basically saying, oh, you killed Archimond on LFR, or you killed Archimond on normal. That's good. Okay. But if you want this thing, I think you get a mount out of it. I'm not sure. Oh, there's also going to be a mount that could be a random drop in time walking as well. Again, more incentive to get people into that. But there's a quest that's going to drop from Archimond, but only on heroic or mythic. So again, and this is interesting because again, I was talking about incentivizing. One thing Blizzard, I would like to see Blizzard do is incentivizing raiders pushing themselves up, not just being happy with doing LFR, not just being happy with doing normal mode, but actually wanting to progress through the higher difficulty levels. And maybe this shows that Blizzard are willing to let raiders who raid the more difficult versions get something that the others aren't. They sort of sneaked into a little bit with LFR by going, well, you're not going to get tier or the good trinkets anymore. And maybe now they're bugging it up a bit and going, well, actually, people who complete this on heroic or higher, we're going to give them something extra. So if you want it, go and push yourself. Go and do heroic. Don't just stop at normal. Go and get it killed on heroic. And the other thing, of course, is that's one thing. The reality might well be quite different. The reality might well be that guilds who can easily do this thing on heroic just use it as a way of selling boosts to heroic Archimond for people who will just want this quest item, how it works. Now, of course, I'm not sure exactly how it works. Just because you get the quest item, maybe you have to kill Archimond a few times to get all the stuff. I don't know. I don't know what the quest chain is going to be like. We just know they drops an item that starts off on a quest chain. What else will need to be done for this quest? Don't know yet. Now, here's another one, another weird one. Mythic dungeons. They're going to have small chances to drop much better loot. There's going to be a chance, they don't say how small chance, but they do give the impression it's a very rare chance, to drop 725 item level gear from mythic dungeons. This is not raids. From a dungeon. Now, just to put that in context, my average item level at the moment is about 725. Sometimes 724, 725, depending on which trinket I use. So yeah, you can get items that are as good as the pieces I'm using, or in terms of item level at least, from potentially a dungeon. What do people think about that? It is a very small chance. No one is saying that you could get an overall item level of 725 by doing dungeons, because the chance of anything dropping is quite small, and it might not be ideally itemized. And to get a full set in an item in each slot of 725, I suppose, would be phenomenally, astronomically small, in fact. Or do I mean microscopically small? Astronomical is big numbers. Behave. So, yeah, but again, it's just another way. I think this is what I mean, that all these things are like incentivizing you to carry on doing content beyond its normal shelf life. And I think they are trying things out. I think they know they need to do this. They know they have to have people keep doing dungeons and preferably keep doing LFR and things like that as well. And they're just trying a few things out. They don't want to just try all these things out in Legion because it could go wrong. It might not work. They want to see what works, what incentivizes people, and then build on that for Legion. I'm not saying that this is the full suite of things they'll try in Legion. I certainly hope not. No, I certainly hope not. But I think these are some things that they can implement really quickly right now. Of course, it doesn't mean to say this patch is imminent. It's not. I don't think it's even on the PTR yet. It's only just announced today. So it'll be on the PTR, I should think, quite soon. After that, it could easily be somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks before we see it go live. We'll have to see. But yeah, just thought I'd update you. I've got a couple of long videos coming out the weekend as well on as I say, the challenges that I think are facing the developers for Legion, and some ways they might go with that. And of course, this news today has sort of given us a little bit of a lead on some of those things, as well as just some waffle I've got on a video, a little bit of a debate on just the different raid difficulties in general. But yeah, till the weekend then. I'll see you later.